Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with better images of Carlos Thomas Jr. from his recent guest posing, and I can say that Carlos truly shook up the bodybuilding world. As we know, he is currently 4 weeks out from the Texas Pro, where he will be competing against Andrew Jacked and Hunter Labrada. But based off what I'm seeing right now, I think Carlos will be very competitive in Texas as long as he's conditioned. He seems to be showcasing a lot of details, seems to be in good condition, but his side leg just looks to be a little bit soft to me. It could be a muscle maturity issue, and a lot of people are mentioning Carlos is going to lose the show from the back. He has a bad back double bicep. The back double bicep is only one pose, guys. We have 7 other poses: front, back, relaxed, quarter turns. Big Ramy won 2 Olympia titles, and he didn't have the best back. Hunter Labrada placed 4th at the Mr. Olympia, and he did not have the best back. Just because Carlos doesn't have the best back double bicep doesn't mean he won't be a great bodybuilder. You still have to beat him in 7 other poses. And I have already read a few comments of people saying Carlos can possibly beat Hunter, but no way he beats Andrew Jacked. I think Carlos versus Andrew is going to be a very interesting comparison. Andrew Jacked is over 6 feet tall, a great bodybuilder, incredible genetics, but in some poses, it looks like he needs a little bit more density, especially in the side chest, side tricep. How is he going to look next to Carlos Thomas Jr., who is 5'6" and just a ball of muscle? I'm not saying Carlos is going to win the show, but this is going to be interesting, guys. And let's switch over to Blessing Awodibu, who posted up some physique updates from one day out of the Chicago Pro. Blessing ended up finishing in 4th place at that show. I actually think he looked better here than he looked on stage, but Blessing still wasn't where he needed to be for this bodybuilding show, and that's because he was 100% prepping himself. Now, I knew he was prepping himself, but I thought he at least had, Kai Green, someone taking a look at him. If you guys remember, James Hollingshead stopped working with Patrick Tour and was quote-unquote working by himself, but he was still having Jordan Peters take a look at him. It looks like Blessing Awodibu really went into this show by himself, and he did not have the best outcome.
Damn! That was not the result that we wanted.
Now, Blessing also posted up this long caption to go along with those physique updates in one day out. Blessing said, "Not the leanest I've been, but we were on to something until I let the pressure and stress get the best of me, plus messing up the peak. And reason why I kept the prep off social media was to minimize the stress and pressure. Now I understand why it's not a good idea to try and prep yourself, but everything was going amazing. Might have been a little behind on the conditioning, but it was getting lit. Things can be turned around and real quick. Still got a few weeks. I think it's time to reach out to a coach." I think that is a great idea for Blessing Awodibu to do. Honestly, I'm not sure why he left George Farah. They had one bad showing at the Mr. Olympia, yes, but George Farah brought Blessing in at his absolute best for 2 pro shows, and Blessing won both of them. Maybe he should reach back out to George Farah, or maybe try someone completely different, but hopefully Blessing does find a good coach. Despite the criticism and the slight jokes I give to Blessing Awodibu, I truly want to see this guy reach his maximum potential. Now let's switch over to former Mr. Olympia, the 15th Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry, who just arrived at Oxygen Gyms, and Brandon is starting his prep for the 2023 Mr. Olympia, and I'm really glad that I saw this. I was getting a little bit worried about, is Brandon Curry even going to compete at this year's Olympia? And even though Brandon was 4th place at the 2022 Olympia, he still made massive improvements from the Arnold Classic, where he came in significantly downsized. I honestly think Brandon should have done the Arnold Classic. His Mr. Olympia package was pretty good. He just needed to be a little bit more conditioned. Maybe a lot more conditioned, but I'm looking forward to seeing Brandon on stage at this year's Olympia. We haven't seen any physique updates since the Olympia, and we're probably not going to see any physique updates. How do I think Brandon Curry stacks up now with Derek Lunsford improving, Nick Walker, Samson Dowda? I have no idea. With Brandon being a former Mr. Olympia, I have to say, this is a guy you can never count out. He's the 15th Mr. Olympia. There's only 17 guys that have won the title, and Brandon Curry is one of them. But I'm not sure how he's going to stack up at this year's Olympia. Gonna be very hard to maintain that 4th place spot. But let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below who is this bodybuilder. And I'll give you guys a tip. He's still competing today. Just focus on the mustache. But as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Goat Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.